Hello, I'm Fiona Rawford-Williams. I'm the media analyst at Edison. And with me this morning I've got Richard Breeden, who is the Managing Director of Econsultancy, which itself is part of Centaur Media. Good morning, Richard. Welcome to Edison.
Thank you very much for having me, Fiona. It's lovely to be here.
Good. First of all, in terms of Econsultancy, can you explain what the company does and who it does it for?
Yeah, Econsultancy is a learning business. We specialise in the areas of digital marketing and e-commerce, and we work with global organisations to help them upskill their teams in those two areas.
And which type of companies are you working with? And is it just companies that are trying to upskill themselves because they're going through a transition, or is it?
Yeah, we work with quite a diverse range of companies and range of sectors. Our biggest sectors are probably FMCG, financial services and retail at the moment. And those companies are sort of transitioning either more sort of direct to consumer e-commerce or trying to upskill those teams to drive more demand through digital. So they're transitioning in the sense that they're sort of moving towards a more digital environment, but it's not unique to companies that are undergoing sort of digital transformation or anything like that. It's a much more progressive and continuous thing that pretty much every organisation in the world is going through at the moment, but at all the time as well.
So very much a learning business.
Yeah.
And you use the expression multi-touch learning. Do you want to tell us what that is?
Sure. Yeah, we did some research a few years ago around a sort of effective methods of learning, what gets learners to actually engage with learning, and it was very clear from that research that the sort of single channel methods of learning, so just doing e-learning courses or just doing face-to-face training, doesn't really work in the long term, and doesn't engage the majority of learners. So we devised a learning model that was really designed to address that, and we call that multi-touch learning. And what that does is it combines both of those things. So lots of e-learning, lots of face-to-face training, but also with what we call event-based training or event-based learning. Which can be sort of an interactive analyst session, can be a conference, that are designed to sort of engage and inspire people to want to learn. And then we also sort of layer over that a whole bunch of on-demand resources about trends and best practice. And it's the integration of all of these things into a single experience that really seems to make a difference and gets people to engage in learning, which is the first part of the battle in getting your team to be to the skill levels that you want them to be.
And when you're working with companies, is it on a subscription basis or is it a project basis? And is there a trajectory that you're on?
The model is very much on a subscription model because it's continuous learning, and we believe very strongly that learning should never stop. So it's the ongoing relationship. All of our resources, all of our trends resources, for example, are always updated. There's new stuff coming out on the website daily. We're releasing new courses monthly. So it's that ongoing learning experience in a world that's always changing.
Mm-hmm. And how do you deliver it? Have you got a platform? And if you have, how scalable it is?
We do. We have a platform. We have two platforms actually. We have a platform that houses our skills diagnosis tool, which is called the Digital Skills Index. So very often the first part of an engagement with a client will be around diagnosing their skills gaps and benchmarking that against their sector or whatever they want to be benchmarked again. And then we will deploy a learning solution on our LMS, learning management system, where the e-learning will sit, but also all of the other resources that I just mentioned will also sit. That's a very scalable platform. It's not our platform. We use a SaaS platform, one of the leading LMS platforms in the world.
Okay. And Econsultancy is part of larger organisations. It's part of Xeim.
It is, yes.
Which is itself part of Centaur, and it's at a higher level, it's part of Centaur. So how do you work with both Xeim and with Centaur, and what do you get out of the relationship?
Yeah, well, I mean, Xeim is advantageous to Econsultancy in a number of ways, actually. The first, obviously, we have brands like Marketing Week and the Festival of Marketing, which are very well known within the audience that we're trying to reach. So that sort of access to market is very important, and also with the mini MBA now, Xeim has a pretty strong position within learning, specialising in marketing. Mini MBA is very much about sort of broader marketing and brand marketing. We're very specialised in digital marketing and e-commerce. So those are very complementary propositions. We believe that can allow companies to engage with us and grow over time.
How does the relationship with Centaur benefit you?
Yeah, well, so obviously, a business of Econsultancy's scale at the moment, although we're growing fairly quickly, wouldn't have access to the same level of resources around, data management and platforms that we're able to enjoy by being part of Centaur. So that kind of data pool and the infrastructure around the business is obviously very valuable as we try to scale the business.
That's super. Thank you very much for your time, Richard.
No, my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.